Alright. This will be the near editless first video to go up on my personal channel that nobody will ever see, because I'll probably delete it at some point, and that's assuming people would even subscribe or pay attention anyways. But yeah, this is the mission statement for my next adventure, which is a poker room hop of Europe, documentary vlog style. First filmed on this awful, shitty cell phone tripod with an iPhone 7 with no app enhancement or lens enhancement. Hopefully we will be adding on that, getting better gear, working better, making things look sexier, and doing this. So this is the first mission statement, something that I think would be funny to look back on if I actually can go ahead and make this happen. The official mission is to, in the spring of 2018, be packed and ready to properly card room hop and have a mapped out journey, as well as a lot of offshoots throughout Europe, playing poker, both Hold'em and Palom at Omaha, which we'll get to later. And yeah, document it, try to get weird, and try to get really cool footage, and learn the skills that would be necessary to have to get there. So, to start that, and I'll be looking this way because my little cheat sheet's here. So the goal of documentation is to travel extensively. I've never done that before, and I want to do it, and this is what I'm calling the last of my youth, maybe even past that, and I just want to travel extensively. It's like the coolest thing you can be doing, so I want to do it, and I want to try to subsidize it. You need to be able to subsidize it if you can do it for an extended period of time, and my way of doing it is through cards, which I have a modicum of skill in. I need a lot of brushing up to get back to any level of winning capability, but that's what the next year is about, learning the filming and editing portion of those, which I know nothing about, so we're learning from literal scratch. So this channel will be the slight upgrades in hardware, software, and skill set. Be posting little things. I won't do a full-scale vlog for a while, at least a few months. But yeah, just kind of the from-scratch process, and then also relearning the skill set I'll need to try to subsidize this, keep my bankroll afloat while I travel through and have a great time, hopefully. So that's it. That's that. And that's based on the inspiration from many folks that I've just stumbled upon in the last month, 2 months or so, where I kind of had this epiphany to shut down my biz, and go chase that kind of dream and kind of have one last super fun hurrah before we figure out a more permanent move for myself. So, and that's part of what my goal is to develop some mental clarity, because of the malaise I've been stuck in the last couple years in my personal business. There's just nowhere to be. It's nowhere to be professionally or personally, so that's part of it. Next part of the mission statement, get comfortable with myself being the subject of documenting. I'm super averse to any sort of attention, especially camera-based attention, so if I can get super comfortable with it, and maybe a few folks actually follow along and I develop some friendships out of it, that'd be really cool. So that's huge. And have fun, of course. Have fun, for Christ's sake, was the last one I put down there. Have a good time, just get over myself, enjoy my experience, and try to document it so that 20 years down the road, even if nobody else watches it, I can look back and be like, that was pretty cool. So the next 6 months of that are when we hit the lab. Final Cut Pro, gotta learn from absolute scratch. Started tutorials a few weeks ago, pretty much when I decided to come up with this, which is about 3 weeks ago now. So we're gonna see where we are 6 months from now, and then try to build a trip from there if we're still have the fire and we still enjoy doing this and enjoy the learning process and the grind of all that. So gotta learn to shoot. So right now we have cell phones. I got a Google Pixel XL. We have the iPhone 7 that we're looking at now. So we're gonna try to film properly with those using different apps, and then also get legit cameras going, at least one or two, and start to try to employ that into the whole menagerie of stuff we're trying to do, and then edit it and try to see if we can make a functional, cohesive, cool, good-looking product. Because if it looks like shit, I kind of don't want to do it. It doesn't have to look amazing. I'm too green to the process at too old of an age to make it look amazing. But good. I'm looking for good. I'm striving for good. And we'll see if I have an eye for it. So yeah, we have the equipment, the editing, and the filming. The last part is to relearn poker. It's been years since I was playing with any solid length of weekly time and effort, and I'm going to go back into studying and playing a lot more, especially with, I mentioned earlier, the pot limit Omaha scenario. So PLO is huge in Europe. It's, I think, the default game over there. So to get proficient at that would definitely help my potential of making money out there to keep this going. So, and it'll be more fun than relearning No Limit Hold'em, because I already have some preconceived notions that are going to be tough to break, and you know, I've already been down that path. I've never been hugely successful at it or anything, but I think PLO would be something I'd be able to enter with much more open eyes and willingness to just learn from those better, from, you know, whether it be the training sites I look at or the hand histories I'll hopefully be putting down here to look after and go over. So yeah, so we're gonna try to study those games, both those games, for at least 2 or 3 hours a week dedicated, plus just the random off time I have at the store, downtime of hours, or, you know, late night if I'm not doing anything else. Try to get 5-6 hours of study in a week, which includes personal hand analysis once I can develop them, and then try to play 2 to 3 times a week for at least a few hours per session. Try to get 8 to 10 hours a week of solid gameplay if I can, both online and live, and see where my win rates are there and how that would translate to what apparently is a wild scene in Europe as far as like the type of games and money being thrown around at the low to mid stakes. So it should be fun. And that'll take me to October 1st. You'll be seeing little snippets, or maybe I'll only be seeing little snippets of videos. I'm gonna cut, edit, chop, you know, add music to all that, shoot, myself, anyways, so we're gonna kind of see the maturation of that until I can finally maybe feel comfortable and skilled enough to put together a 10 to 20 minute vlog, or just general video, like, I don't know what it would be, but something cohesive, and see if it would look good if I chop it myself and just do a full soup to nuts shooting and editing of my own, because that's what I'd have to do out there, is vlog it myself, shoot it and edit it in a timely fashion, and put in the hours at the table, and be able to, you know, travel and see the things you want to see when you're traveling to another part of the world. So yeah, and little things like staring at I feel like I'm not looking at the lens enough, but all those little things, gotta learn it, gotta get better at it, and come October 1st, we'll have another State of the Union version of this, with hopefully a better camera and a better mic, and actually legitimately edited to knock out these pauses that I'm having and these lookaways that I'm having, and see if we're at a good spot to then move into phase 2, which would be setting up the trip, getting ready to liquidate my assets to accrue as much money as I can for a bankroll, and seeing if I'm a winner at cards to the point where I'm comfortable with betting on myself to travel and play to subsidize that travel. And then we'll start really outlining the actual trip itself, and probably have some pre-vlogs, some BC vlogs, before we make the real jump. So I'd like to thank you or whoever happens upon this in the next 8 to 10 months. I don't see who would, because I will not be promoting anything for quite a while. I'm going to try to promote stuff later when it's actually worth looking at, but until then, this is really past me talking to future me, I guess. And I really hope it's a cool look back at a process that could turn out to be really cool. So that's that. Mike Lerner signing off. As yet unnamed vlog. Yeah, on to the next one.